Hello, and welcome to Cousin Chat, where we talk about what matters. I'm your host, Donna Pazant, and today, what matters is the music and the people who create it. And I have a special guest with me today, JONva. Please say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. Great to be here, Dawn. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'll be much better in a few minutes once we get started.
All
So now
right.
listen, folks, I have known this gentleman for years. And ever since I've known him, he has been creating music. He is, well, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about who he is. He, or what he has. He is a podcaster, as am I. The name of his podcast is Live Life, Be Happy 24/7. And that's B, no E on it, just the
Yeah.
B. And he is an artist development. Well, his title is Artist Development Global Director for Top Talent Promotions, and that's in the UK and in North America. And I'm just so happy that he was able to join me for this chat today. So, JONva, we're going to take a little bit of time now to get to know who you are. So,
Sure.
one of the things I like to start off asking you is, well, I know that you've been doing music for years, but
Yes.
when did you discover that music for you was more than just a hobby?
And that's a good question because for me, I thought it was three, but my mom says to me, we were talking the other day that it was earlier before that. And I learned how to dance to music before I even started walking. So I can say it was already in me. And I've always felt that there was something special about music. I mean, I just could not be without music. And when I was actually nine, I took up the saxophone. And like everybody else, you do the concert band and whatnot. But I was always trying to do my own thing. I mean, while I'm supposed to be learning these lessons, I'm trying to write and create. So I was like, there's something a little bit different because I always want to do my own thing. So from that, that told me that the inspiration was there and the passion, and it just never left me. It's like, considered like my life was like Clark Kent. By day, I was one person, and at night, I was inspired by music.
Wow, it sounds to me like music is clearly your passion.
Yes.
So I know that there are people out there who love to do things, but they never really take the time to get better at it. It's just something they like to do. What have you done, or what steps have you taken to perfect your craft? I know it's a passion,
Yes.
but what steps have you taken to perfect that passion?
Well, I always thought that, you need training. You need training and you need to continue to evolve with your skills. So for me, it was okay, what do I need to do to actually take me to the next level? And what I did is I looked at a number of institutions, and I said, you know what, I had gone to Palm Beach State College and I studied music there formally, but
Mm.
thereafter, I did a stint at Montclair University as a composition major. But then the director asked me, well, what do you want to do? I said, you know what, I only came back here because I wanted to be around the competition. And yeah, it was, and I guess it must have shown, you know, he's a teacher. Teachers have ways of knowing, they have this other sense. So he must have seen something
Hmm.
about me that says this person is beyond what we can teach him. And I was always going to the studios, and just anybody that I met was a mentor. And I don't think you remember this, but your father played on one of my tracks many, many, many years ago. And it was called Baby I'll Wait With You, which Benny E. King Jr. had wrote. And yes. And when I heard your dad was playing in there, and I heard the thing, I was like, whoa. And for me, that was all part of my training, because to have somebody that accomplished to take some time just to kind of work with me, like I said, that was a training. Some people may like, it wasn't formal, but it was a training for me that I will always cherish. So I had to kind of drop that little nugget to you because I don't think you remember
He's played on
that.
so many things.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And then I ended up finding my way to Berklee College of Music. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make this a commitment. and I'm going to learn what I need to learn so I can be a professional. I didn't want to be a fan anymore. I wanted to be a professional. And I felt as though that I needed the right preparation and tools and training from some of the industry's, leaders, the best of the best in the world. And from there, I made some amazing relationships with some of these professors who work with Beyonce, who work with Sting, just amazing. And for me, I took it, this was like a workshop. It was a workshop. It was a workshop. And just kept going with this. And then immediately after I finished my undergrad, I went on and just kind of said, you know what, we need some more training here, because I still felt as though I really needed something more just to make it complete for myself. And you'll know. And then I immediately went into the master's program, which was more of you could say, a fast track. I love to learn.
Okay.
I love to learn. And I always say to my students that I mentor, just always be that sponge, be that fly on the wall, and just take it all in. And I was able to complete the masters in a year, and it's been amazing since there. It opened up so many opportunities, and I don't think that would have happened had I not decided to go forward and press a little bit more to get just a little more education underneath my belt to help me.
Nice. Well, I heard you mention that you have students that you mentor.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and what you do for them?
Okay. I have students on a collegiate level.
Oh,
I
nice.
have students all over the world that I mentor and develop, because what I realized is that when I was coming up, I had certain mentors that took special attention to me. One particular was a professor, Patricia Adams, who used to always talk about Roberta Flack, and how that was her best friend over at Howard, which I did meet Miss Roberta Flack.
Oh,
And I did
nice.
ask that, and she did, and when I brought the name up to her, her face just blossoms. I was like, wow, this was really true. She was friends with Donny Hathaway. Those were her peeps back at Howard University. They were trying to get me to go to Howard, but like I said, I'm the type of person I can do my own thing. So I can say I'm a Berkeley guy, but I'm sure I probably would have done that. But it's just amazing. And now my students range from students who are undergrad at Berkeley, as well as master's students and other students around the world who just kind of they find me, and I help them, develop their skills. I don't do their work. I help them. I cultivate them and help them nurture and be the best. And I share some of my successes with them, and they just love that because I'm one that I'm not I don't want to be so far up in the stratosphere. I want to be right there in the trenches with everybody. And when I see that something good is happening, I share it with them, and they become a part of it, like a tribe. And they follow me on Instagram. Anything that I do, they like, they comment, and because they're like, wow, we're actually talking with somebody who's actually in the trenches, who's doing this stuff. It's not just theory. This is a person who's doing it in real time. And I share my experiences, challenges, and sometimes, things that, I'm still trying to figure out, but we talk about it. I explain to them and I said, hey, you're going to go through this too, but, this is what you should do to prepare while you're going along the way. So like I said, they love that. And I also, there's a good friend of mine who, his name is Mark Beckett, and he's down there at a technology school in East Orange. And he many years ago approached me about starting a performing arts school, which he did. And it was an academy, and it's for children who don't have the financial access to like a Berkeley or a Juilliard. And this is like a prep work for them. And when he told me about the program, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm definitely on it. And I just found out that him and Whitney Houston, they grew up together, best friends, and he knows the family. So I'm part of I'm part of the board. It's called We Dream Academy. And to see these young students, just doing that thing, it's amazing. And I said, whatever you need, I'll support you,
And
because I'm not far.
I'm sure they appreciate that because,
Mhm.
they don't need someone who's going to sell them a whole bunch of dreams and make it seem like everything is perfect and never share your mistakes. At least they get to learn from some of the trials that you've had to encounter.
Okay.
and I'm sure they appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know that you have a project out now.
Yeah.
Please tell us about that.
Well, we got a project out called the JONva Experience Project 2.0. This was a project that took me about a year to work on.
Wow.
Uh, and it did, and I was able, it was a transatlantic project, matter of fact, because during the pandemic, I was able to connect with a number of artists and musicians around the world, from here to Shanghai, to the Netherlands, Germany. This is my team, to Spain. And of course, I was the producer on here. I had to make it happen. And amazing talent. It is out on all digital platforms streaming. And one of my professors, Sean Slade, who produced Radiohead Creep, he was like, "Oh, this is like an eclectic project," but he goes, "It's good," because I wanted everybody to experience a part of JONva. I don't like to be labeled. I like to do music. Just do music.
Mhm.
And we've gotten some really good feedback and some really good stuff. Some people are like, "Oh, you're a rap producer." No, I am a producer. I do music, and it's just great. I mean, it's doing very well, and I'm very happy that everybody, really were able to connect with it and bond. Yeah, amazing project.
Wow, that's amazing. So what's next for you?
Next for me is actually I got three more EPs dropping out of the UK.
Okay.
Yes, one with Ed Sheeran's bandmate, which is a song that I co-wrote, because his this friend of mine, which is Adam Wed, he's like, "My girlfriend loves the way you play that piano." I said, "Yeah, okay, I'm writing you a song then." And I wrote him a song. It started with the piano, and we collaborated. So right now, it's actually being mastered over in what's that place? Abbey Roads,
Hmm.
which is no when anybody who knows Abbey Roads associated with the Beatles.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't know it was gonna go that way, and then just people just start to gravitate, and then they're like, "Yeah, we liked it." And then I was one, I didn't like working with teams, but I said, "Okay, you gotta kind of just step back a little bit, because people, they want to be a part of what you're doing." And I've got some really amazing people, out from the UK and all over, who just want to be a part of this. So like I said, I'm being nice and sharing the love.
Well, hey, if the music is good, people will flock to it. So that's
Yeah.
one thing you know for sure.
Mhm.
No, this music industry is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
So what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is my passion for making music that will inspire and heal people. And I've always said this to my professors. I was never really concerned with Billboard. I was concerned with the heartboard. That's my thing. And let it be somebody across the world who hears a song that I wrote, and it brings out some kind of beautiful emotion or inspires them to do some greatness. That's what I do. So when I sit down and write the music, it's coming from the heart. It always. I don't like, "Oh, I'm gonna do no, just come from the heart. Whatever flows. Okay, this is what we're gonna write with it. Good." And I never think about where it's gonna land, because I know, and I'm gonna have to say this, God inspires me and He knows where it's gonna go. So
That's right. And when you play music from the heart, it draws people. I've seen some of the things that you've posted on your social media platforms, and they're just so beautiful. They're snippets or things you've just made up. They don't
yeah.
even have names, some of them, but it's just
Yes.
oh, they're just so pretty. So that when it comes from the heart, people will flock to it. And so one thing I would like for you to share with people is, where can they find you on Instagram? Like, if you don't mind, if that's a place where you would like for them to find you,
Sure.
you can give
Sure.
them your info.
Yeah. On Instagram, it's JONva Ven. And just the way it is, I'm sorry, JONVANVEN underscore official underscore 2.0. Or if you put the JONva experience and Google it, you'll find me on Facebook. My face is like all over social media these days.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that. I was like, wow. I said, I like to be like a little low key about it, but now when they put the JONva, I'm like, wow, I didn't know. They're like, yeah, we can find you, yeah, anywhere, man. Just there you go.
But
I'm
that's
like,
a good
okay.
thing. You're out there, buddy. You're out there.
I'm like, I want to stay a little hip. They're like, no, you can't. You can't. You decide that this is the journey that you want to take. There's no more hiding. That's okay. All right. We can agree with that.
Well,
Yeah.
I am so glad that you joined me for this chat today. For those of you who are listening, thank you so much for joining me today and listening to this wonderful interview. If you want to follow Cousin Chat, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we have a YouTube channel as well. And if you want to listen to the podcast episodes, you can go to the website that's CUZNCHAT.com, cousinchat.com, and links to the other streaming platforms are there. So if you like to listen on Apple, Spotify, Breaker, Stitcher, Google Cast, whatever your preference is, the links are there on the website. But before we go, I always like to leave you with something to think about. And so the takeaway for me today would just be to follow your passion. After listening to JONva's story today, I just really think that that is such an important thing for you to do. Follow your passion, because you will never know what can come from it if you don't go after it. And if you find that you're following your passion, but you need to develop your passion, then do what he did. He went back to school to get educated on certain things. And then even when he was finished, you heard him say he went back again, because there's more to learn. So that's my
Yeah.
takeaway for today. Follow your passion and then perfect it. Do you have anything to add to the takeaway?
I totally agree. We know it's your passion will feel the best that that you'll get from yourself, and you won't know until you give it a try. Even if you fail, go back and do it again.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, this has been great. So, until we come back to our next cousin chat, I'm Donna,
JONva.
and that's it, folks. Be
All
blessed,
right.
everybody.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.